All right, guys, let's try this again. So I just had like a power outage for about 2 minutes just now. So I restarted my computer. Everything is ready to go. Hopefully, I can do this all over again exactly like how I did the previous video. But here we go. All right, so today, Upland decided to put this question out. I was gonna do a video on it last week, but I'm happy I didn't because Upland actually put out something that I've been asking myself, and I wanted to ask you guys. How much liquidity do you have on hand just in case of something new and exciting coming in Upland? That wasn't my exact question, but it was pretty much is Upix like being dried up? Is it dried up in Upland right now? Which is the title of this video that I'm doing today. So like I saw this on Twitter and I was really happy to see this because this is something I wanted to discuss and it's something I really wanted to know. And some of the people that responded, I was so happy that they did because at the end of the day, right? These opinions really matter to me. All of them here, some of these people I talk to on a regular basis, I like their comments. We all follow each other. And it was great to see the amount of people that actually participated in this. So normally Upland would put out a question and there wouldn't be as much response really as it is today. I've been following them on a regular basis because I'm mostly on Twitter, not so much on the Discord, which I need to kind of get involved because there's some great projects and people are doing some great things there. I need to get more involved with that. But let's get back to this question. So, as I went through, when I saw how many people responded on it, I was really actually, I wasn't surprised to be honest. I was expecting this, but some of the people that I was expecting to have a different answer didn't. They were on this. They were in the same situation as me, right? So there's something fun and exciting, and then you're yeah. So so right as Upland dropped this question, right? My response right away was very good question, Upland. To answer your question, not much. And as I scroll down, here's another individual, Shaq. She always has have money in the game, right? And it was surprising to me that she had a small amount. And normally she's in the hundreds, 200, 300,000 UPIX in the game. I don't believe people are putting much money in the game because of the economical situation right now. They're gonna need money for more essential things. But I expected people to have UPIX that they've been generating. That's why I've done videos in the past talking about how essential it is to get to 100,000 UPIX per month because that makes a difference, right? You'll be able to participate in all these monthly events that Upland seems to have, as they always do. They always choose to do a Spark Week, sell vehicles, and possibly open a new city as well as a collaboration, all within the same 2 weeks that they have. It's always they always have Spark Week and a city opening for some reason within that same 2 weeks, right? So as you go down, you can see how many people that don't really have it. He's one of the guys, Upland Guide. He normally has 500,000 or more UPIX. I'm surprised he has this low. Normally, when I click on his videos, sometimes I'll see like 700, 800,000. But that is he's one of the guys that have. There's still a few people who are consistently having that 500,000, 700,000, if not a million, constantly in their UPIX account. Right? They figured out the game on how to be able to make money in this game and continuously have UPIX in the game. That's how I interpret it. I don't know if they're putting in money in constantly or what, but based on their accounts, that's where it normally is, right? And here's another individual, next to none, right? And that's there. Okay, Russell Envy is another guy too, but he does a lot of treasure hunts. So he always is generating UPIX in the game from his treasure hunts. And recently as well, he's just reached the 100,000 UPX per month. So you know that makes a big difference when you're generating 100,000 UPX a month plus generating UPX from treasure hunting and various other things that he has going on in the game. And I think he does a lot of racing too. I'm not really sure on that, right? So here we go. Not enough for sure. Nice teasing, by the way. Here's another person, Sao Paulo, Samba, and Magera. That took his money, and I had to like this one because I was one of the ones, and I did do a video on the whole Magera thing. I shouldn't have participated in that, because that took a lot of UPX from me. Like right now, I would have been close to 100,000 UPX in my account right now if I hadn't participated in that event, right? Like I would be very close to 100,000, but you know, that's fine. I can generate um UPX every month. I don't have to participate in every city opening or every event that's going on. But this is kind of to do in order to be able to have money in this game, because you have to kind of take a step back from a lot of the events that are going on in Upland in order to have UPX in your account. Because sometimes you may want to buy a car, which is one of the reasons why I had taken a step back, save up some UPX so I can purchase a vehicle. And I got a vehicle, and I'm really happy with my purchase. So I'm doing that again. I don't know what is coming, but I know something's always coming with Uplanders. They're always up to something. Right, here's another guy, 77K, right? And most likely that's not enough, because if there's a city opening, 77K isn't enough, because most of the cities aren't really that what's it called, aren't that cheap anymore, like when the game first started out. So you know, you guys can take a look, just go through, read all the comments, you'll see what the people have to say and where things are. And one of the reasons why this is a topic I really wanted to talk about is because 3 months ago, back in November, here we go, back in November, they had the economic overview where they wanted us, the players, to vote for Upland to have access to the community pool. And one of their reasoning for them having access to the community pool was to recycle the UPX and sell it to new players, because if they had kept the community pool where it was, it would grow, it would balloon, and then the Upland pool wouldn't grow at all. They would have to mint new UPX and somehow create inflation. So I clicked to a part on the video where Dirk gave his definition, I believe, of inflation. I completely disagree, because inflation is when there's too much money in the system, so everything is overpriced. Right now in Upland, which is going to be the next thing I'm talking about, will show you that a lot of people are selling properties, vehicles, stuff like that under mint just to get some US dollars. I follow some people who are selling a lot of things under mint price, or under, say, like a $20 price in Upland for certain items that normally would go for more than $20. They're selling for under $20. But let me let you guys listen to this first, and then I'll go to that, and I'll show you how like certain things have really dropped. All right, so give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Let you guys listen to this one, okay?
First of all, inflation normally is defined by when you have a basket, right? You take different products into it and you measure it, right? How it develops, right? We see that especially here in the US or in Europe, right? It's 10, 11%, with the cost of the energy cost, what you see. So, it doesn't change, because we're just moving from one pool to the other. So the 100 billion, actually, which we originally, under this proposal, which we originally minted, where they just
that inflation is when you take a basket of, say, currencies and you measure them. Go look up the definition, guys, of inflation, and you will not see you will not see his particular definition of what inflation was. If I think it was around here. And as I said in my last video in October, a lot of events happened. There was cars, there's block explorers, there was Jackie Say's collection. There was so many things that was happening that demanded a lot of upix, and that all got sucked out of the game. And LA, correct. LA was another one. There's so many of those cities that are still unminted. So I don't understand why or where this change has come, because it's not like the whole thing is minted out and prices have ballooned and stuff like that, right? And this is where it comes to that point about inflation, where even though Dirk is a PhD in economics, I disagree with his definition of inflation. Inflation is like a cold. Right? I look at it like this. Hopefully I explain this correct. Let me actually play that. Yeah, so as I was saying there, so if there's a lot of money in the game or a lot of upix in the game, the prices of things would be really expensive, right? We already know people in the game are jacking up prices on land 1,000%, 250%, 500%, just so they can make a quick buck really fast, right? But other things in the game, like for example here, I go to a blend.me, and a lot of the times I search up block explorers. So some of these block explorers are in USD. These ones here on your left are always $5 and so dollars. Remember, these are going for 15,000 upix. Well, now they're going for 5 USD, which always seem to happen, right? So that's the USD. I'm not really going to use USD as an example. It's not the greatest example, but upix. A lot of upix being in the game would mean that everything would be at ridiculous prices. As you see, 4,000 upix for this block explorer. I like to use block explorers as an example of the fact that the prices of items like that are devaluing, right? I'm sure properties are also going down, because every time there's a new city opening, people drop these prices. I don't know if you guys remember when the Bronx and Manhattan was down to like, I think 50 or 60,000 upix. Now it's back up to 400,000. The last I checked was a couple of days ago. But I kind of want to show you guys something here with these block explorers. This one, everyone got for free. Normally, the new block explorers are going for 12 to 15,000 upix. This is like the cheapest one, right? This is the easiest one to get. 9,000 upix. Block explorers don't drop under 10,000 upix so easily unless people are like just trying to get rid of stuff so they can get some upix in the game. The fall turkey, this one I believe wasn't under 15,000. Okay, let's see if I can find the other one, because I bet I've seen the other turkey with the helmet on for like 12,000, and that one was always in the 20s. The gnomes, I understand those kind of dropped really fast. The Megara stuff, those kind of dropped really fast. The mugs, I'm surprised to actually see some of them at these levels or even cheaper than that, right? Like a lot of these have dropped tremendously compared to what they were when we first mint. Okay, look at this one. This one here, not expecting this one to be at this price at all. 13,500 UPEX. People are just liquidating all, not all, but some of the block explorers that have come out recently are going up for dirt cheap. Like at one point, I was buying up block explorers with the intention of, say, opening a meta venture and trying to resell them for a profit. But it's hard to do so now because you can find new block explorers that just came out at like super low prices, right? Look at this one. This one just came out as well, right? Even though this one was for about $9.99 US, it's at 13. Normally, nothing starts at 13. They're always 15 and up, always. That's what I've seen, anyways. Even this price is not so bad, right? Let's keep going here. I'm trying to find the one with the helmet because that one was always in the 30s and the 40s, and I've seen it in the low 15s, I believe. But maybe someone has bought it. Give me a sec here. Okay. All right, these aren't so bad, but once again, the mugs. People paid quite a bit for the mugs, and now they're so cheap. Well, these ones are just above the mint price. Okay, let's see what else I can find here. Okay. Okay, well, that one again. Yeah, so here we go. Here's the one I was looking for. Under 20,000 UPEX. This was going for between 30 and 40,000 UPEX when it first dropped. Now, this is not the lowest I've seen it for. I've seen it down in the 15,000 mark. Like a lot of people kept these and they kept them high. So to see it here is just like, what's going on? Like, how is it that Upland said there was inflation, but the Block Explorer, which I understand there are so many of them in the game. But I would assume, even though there's so many of them in the game, there's still supposedly a lot of players in the game as well, right? So these Block Explorers shouldn't necessarily prices should be dropping so fast because that means players that are pro and above can easily afford a block explorer, right? Because block explorers you'll be just buying them up because they're so cheap. But to own a meta venture right now, especially selling block explorers, I'm pretty sure it's probably very difficult to do so because like if you have to try and get as many of your block explorers for free and then putting it up for 10, 15,000 UPEX. Like this Cupid here, I bought mine for 23,000. I think I have the price here. Cupid, I bought mine for 24,000 in Queens. Right now it's just 20,000 UPEX. Right? So all of my purchase that I did over the last 2 months, no. Over what? When was while FIFA was going on, I thought I had an advantage of going in and purchasing block explorers for cheap, right? And now those prices are, now would be the best time to go in and accumulate block explorers, or maybe you still can wait. I'm not really sure, but things are deflating, and I'm sure if I try to find. Let's see if I can go back and find properties. Maybe I go here. Just give me a second there, guys. Just bear with me for a second. I didn't look up the properties in Upland because I'm not really buying anything off the secondary market. I have trouble myself selling things on the secondary market. And so I kind of took a step back from that. And to get back to the block explorer thing, another reason why too is that I'm saying think price have deflated so much is because I had about 4 or 5 block explorers in the block explorer shop that was removed by the owner because my prices were too high. And like I said, when I bought these block explorers, they weren't as cheap as they are right now. So I don't know. Hopefully, Upland can do something to inject some liquidity into the game because it's really needed. A lot of players aren't doing so well right now financially. Maybe I'm not sure. Some can, some can't really put any additional money into the game. Some are just like myself, are waiting for UPEX to be generated from their properties, and then will be reinvested back into the game by minting new properties. But Upland need to do something, whether that's to increase the yield or come up with contests that they can give out a lot of the UPEX to the lower members like myself. So we'll be able to participate in this market and get the money circulating again, making purchases in these meta ventures and buying block explorers, buying ornaments, all these things that they're bringing into the game. Like, how are we gonna buy all these things? Right? They have a collaboration with the Argentina Football League that's about to come out for very soon because I see that in Argentina they're building the stadium for that. So how's that going to work? How are people going to afford to buy these legits, right? And I'm sure they're not going to be cheap, right? Um, FIFA legits. Um, I had one in a meta venture, and because of the watermark, which is supposed to be released on the 20th, we'll see how that goes. The owner is telling me, hey, maybe you need to drop your price because look, everybody else, like a lot of these things are like the ones that are already claimed that you own and not just the passes. Those are already some anyways are under 100,000. That used to be 300,000. Some people are selling them for 47,000, 50,000 for a video snippet of a miss or a goal or whatever it is. And I think that's absolutely insane because these things, people paid a lot of money for these things, right? I remember I was paying $24 per, even though I got additional things. I never really sold much of my other stuff. I actually like a lot of my soccer legits and stuff like that, and block explorers and all these different things that we were purchasing. And I kept a lot of them. So imagine, like, even the crest, those were going for 45,000 after the whole FIFA thing was over. Argentina one was like 180. But that's all I really have today with this. Go check out that post on Twitter by Upland. I'm sure it's in the. Thank you for watching another episode of Everyday Upland. If you guys like the content, please hit that like, share, and subscribe. And tune in for the next one. All right, guys. Thank you. Good night. Okay, why is it not ended?